Welcome back to Fantastic Facts and Foolishness. My name is Jay Lakes.
You got souls.
And I'm the Rice Man.
And I'm your girl, mischievously.
All right, mischievously and souls.
Well, brother
Jay
Marlon,
Rice.
what's
There you
up?
go,
What's
Rice.
Rice, man?
Right. When I cook dinner tonight, I might need a bag from you. We shall call you Uncle Ben.
I'll be on for the show.
Uncle
But tonight,
Ben.
y'all,
They changed it.
I got an Uncle Ben. His name Uncle Ben Rice.
Wonderful. Wait, you.
I'm
All
lying.
right, anyway.
All right, look,
Wow, wow.
check this out, y'all. We're gonna dive on into a real subject tonight. We want to talk about the breaking down of the black family to from what it used to be. You know, now we got where women wanna be
Wait.
like men, but that might be an assumption. But we got whether the men not the head no more, for whatever reason, and it's the dynamic of the black family is not
So
kind
that's our
of
topic.
in tune.
What has caused
What
the
happened?
downfall?
What has
the,
caused the downfall?
The positive
Yes.
of family.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yes. So, what did cause? Because we women think the men at fault because we're not in our proper position. That's what they say. That's what I'm hearing. How about that? Not what y'all saying.
Don't don't give no disclaimers.
But you know what I'm saying? Women saying that I would submit if, and I would do it if he was. And we got dudes saying, look, if she was a real woman, if she was doing this, if she wasn't shaking her ass on Instagram half naked, then I would see her as a real woman that I can wife on this right here. So where the breakdown? How can we get the family reset to what it's supposed to be?
So I have a question.
Ooh, this is a good
All right.
one.
So I feel like before we dive into why is it how it is now, can you paint a picture of what it used to be? Since
All right, what
you
it
probably
used to
know better than me.
typically what it used to be, if we trying to reset to the biblical family, which is what a lot of black people used to model their homes after, it was the man is the head, the woman is the helpmate or the helpmeet, however they said in the Bible, and she cared for the home and the kids. She did work too, because sometimes, to make it today, it's a 2-income household, or you don't get the things that you get. So we don't understand that both gonna have to work. But it used to be where the guy was the head, the women kind of submitted. They said, that's your daddy. Now when your daddy come home, he get the big piece of chicken.
You're right,
He
right.
get this. When your daddy come home, that's his seat. Everybody move.
So you talking about everybody hates Chris.
Whatever your daddy say now. And I'm gonna fight for y'all, but your daddy got the final veto or whatever like that. And it was just that the man used to be the dude. He come in, and even though he would get the woman's input, and a lot of times what we see is the man wants to please the woman.
Yeah.
So 80-90% of the time, whenever there's a disagreement, the man leans toward the woman because he wants to make her happy. And then you got the guy but the other 10% is when they both disagree, and the guy said, "This is gonna be my call. This ain't one of them times I'm gonna let you have it, my wife, my woman." But this time we both disagreed. Like, my son want to play football. You think it's too rough for him. You think he gonna get hurt. I say he gonna play. You say he ain't gonna play. And I'm gonna say, look, my boy gonna play ball. And that's the end of the discussion. And then she said, well, your daddy said it, and that's how we gonna do it. But it's kind of changed today where you get the back and forth, and the woman don't lay down, and the man don't lay down, and they fight, and they fight over equality and things like that because of the feminist movement. You see it change, and you see this constant who gonna take the lead and who gonna win, and are we equal? We're not equal, because the way I see it is the man and the woman, the wife and the husband, are absolutely equal, but they're not the same. They equal like 2 plus 2 and 3 plus 1. They both equal 4, but they ain't the same. Are they equal? Absolutely, but they got different roles. And in God's design, if you look at it biblically, the men had a role, the women had a role, and that's how it worked. It worked best for the children, for everybody, if everybody was in their right roles, but they all equal. But that's not how it is right now.
So what you think happened?
The way I see it was, it kind of started because Satan, and I believe, because I'm a spiritual person. I'm going to talk from a biblical perspective.
Okay.
Satan wants to cut off the head that killed the family. So to cut off the head, which is the man, if you cut off Adam, you cut off the head, the body will fall. So the attack from Satan was to Adam, not Eve. But you can use Eve to get to Adam. But the attack wasn't for Eve, it was for Adam. Because he know that Adam was the head. So if you take Adam out, you got chaos and anarchy. You got dysfunction in the family. You got things going on that shouldn't be because people are in the wrong roles. But since the feminist movement, women saying when men went to war, like World War I, the Civil War, the men was all went to war to fight, and the women had to work in the factories, the steel mills, and the women started to say, hey, I can do this. I mean, I can do it just like the men. So, and I what make a man better than me? He can't do nothing that I can't do. I can work with this. I can make a TV, a car, or whatever like that. He might be a little stronger than me, but we can do the same thing. So as time changes, once the war was over, the women want to stay and work. You know, I got this. I can do this just like you can. And then they start to get this. The feminist movement came around of why should we be subservient or submissive to a man when we can do the same thing that y'all can do? We can do it too. So why we have to submit to y'all? And now you got women saying, I don't need no man. Who need a man? I can do everything myself. I make my bread. Women throwing their money out. They got their bread. They don't need the dude. But that's not the design. So I feel like Satan is happy because let it stay like that. Let the woman, let the roles be reversed or changed or mixed up. And he is happy. But now you seeing all the kids going crazy and everything is out of order. The family messed up. No men in the house. Women raising kids by themselves. You got all this kind of craziness. It's because we out of order. That's just what I feel like. The roles are not there. So what makes a woman not want to submit to a dude nowadays? Ladies.
You touched on 1,000 things.
I did. I went for
that
it.
was loaded.
You wanted to talk about that.
Hey,
You wanted to talk about
I want to hear.
I want to hear the answers myself.
So for me, you know what? For me, I understand that. I believe that as well. But it also goes into not just a religious type of thing. It goes into what the government has done and allowed as well. Mm-hmm. With that movement, with the women rights and all of that, absolutely. I think it opened women up to being more dependent and not independent
right.
and not dependent upon men. And that definitely changed the dynamic, definitely. But I also feel if you really want to go back to it, you know, you can say biblically true that all happened, but if you look at it through the system and the government as well, it fall back on them. The government is the reason why the men went to war.
That's true.
Right.
So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then not only that, if you just look at the big picture of the world today, like how you said the kids are in chaos and everything else, it does. I feel like it's rooted in the evil and stuff like that. But I also feel it's what they are systematically trying to do, destroy families and such, and especially in the minorities and stuff like that. You got to think about if you go all the way back to taking prayer out of schools, taking corporal punishment out of schools, being able to be more vulgar and inappropriate on TV, pushing more homosexual stuff and, you know, the gays and stuff like that. Like, I'm not bashing on the LGBTQ community at all because I believe in them, I love them.
Right.
I have family. But at the same time, I feel like even it's even handed because you got the government that's stepping in and doing things that's causing the roles of the family to deplete as well.
But why, if it's just the government, why does it seemingly affect black families more so than it does the white family?
That was going to be one of my questions. Because it only works on the black people because
not necessarily.
I mean, the minorities. If you see the Mexicans,
I think it's aimed at the African American community.
Yeah,
I don't feel like it's necessarily they're trying to genocide the black people. You see what I'm saying? Like, just take us all out. But I do want them. I feel like it's a approach to keep our control over what we do for ourselves and our families. Because you think about it, you got food stamps, you got welfare, you got all that government assistance.
There you go.
All of that government assistance to assist women to not have to have a man or need a man.
Because Section 8 though was built for black people. So this is what the government did. They said if you make it for you to continue to get WIC,
your man can't be
all
in
this
the house.
stuff.
Yeah, can't be
you
in the
can't
household.
have no man in the house.
Not at all.
And it was more of us that needed that
course.
the
That's
assistance from the government than them. So that was a way to say, look, if you're a man in the house, you can't get this.
Right.
So women had to say, you can't
so-
stay here, you can't come here, you can't be over
That's
here.
a double-edged sword.
And then, so the men was out the house, especially in the black community.
Oh yeah, because
And we got locked up in jail, going through the slavery times and the times when segregation was prevalent. We were in jail a lot. Men was taken from the house. Then they further took us away from the house and from the government of assistance. We couldn't be there for the woman to get assistance. So we got more of our men in jail. You can't have us in the home for the women to get the money
Jim
and the
Crow.
assistance and the Jim Crow. So now it's called something that we are reeling from because the vices of slavery and stuff, it worked. They got us.
Okay.
But how do we get back?
Now, if we want to talk about just how like the government is geared towards like stunting black growth, that's like a whole nother topic.
But we talking
But
about
I feel
the
like
male
we
and
can't
female
just
dynamic.
play- We can't just play
and that's how I feel
narcissists.
with
Like,
that.
let's not forget that. Now, this isn't all black men, of course, but let's not forget we have a huge issue with the fathers not being in the picture. This is without government
why? But
pushing them out. But why? A
Yeah.
man leaving out of the home and not doing what he's supposed to do, you can only blame so much on the government, but at the end of the day, that's that man's choice if he decides to give up on his family to the point where his wife or significant other has to go out and get that assistance because she can't work enough and afford all of that. Because if we start talking about babysitting and then working a full-time job, well, if you work a full-time, who's going to watch your kids? If you're watching the kids, who's going to work and make the money? So then the woman ends up needing those food stamps and WIC and all of that. And that's besides the man being in jail or anything like that. That's just a man not doing what he's supposed to do.
She's talking about the daddy
So,
that went to get milk
if
and
we're-
never came back.
Exactly.
Oh,
so if
okay.
we're talking about, roles in relationships, and, I can even agree that there needs to be a role for each partner in the
Absolutely.
household.
Absolutely.
But I think the biggest head on the household is not just the man alone, it's the united front. Because, of course, every
Agreed.
child
You need both.
Every child needs their father. But,
And their mother.
and their
the
mother.
mother, yes.
Right,
But
right.
at the end of the day, if their household is stable with a united front, they still have a hopeful future.
Because that was God's design. That was the design.
A united front,
Absolutely. You need both paternal and maternal.
which is very
To get the
reliant
best.
on both roles doing what they're
And then,
supposed to do.
right.
So when the man stops working as much hours as he needs to work, or whatever the agreements are in that household, once one partner starts slacking and not doing what they're supposed to do, it forces the other partner to take on the weight of that one partner, and that's where you start getting all the chaos and disharmony.
I got something. I mean, to me, I get what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from and everything. My thing is this right here. Along with what you said, these different roles and stuff, the man not being in the home and these different dynamics. But my thing is to the people that are out there in the audience. Back in the days, we had this one thing that people had, everybody had. We had love.
What y'all was finna say?
Where is the love? I mean, we had black love, we had white love, there was Hispanic love, everybody loved everything. Now, my thing today is people take the love that people do I feel like today, people take the love that you have for them and treat you like that you're some type of punk or something because you have love for them. You gotta get mistreated or something in some straight form or fashion because you have love for
Because
them.
you have genuine.
Because you
feelings
have
of-
genuine feelings of love. If you try to do something romantic, a man try to do something romantic and another dude see it or something, oh, you being mushy or you all soft. No, we supposed to love We are supposed to love each
And I
other.
feel like if this with this topic, it's an umbrella because
It's everything.
it can be so many